Okay, so when we bought our farm, we found the property, we loved the property, but we knew we were going to have to deal with these thick woods. Most of the property is wooded. So I have a solution for that. It's a beautiful solution. It takes the carbon and it puts it back into the soil. What we're doing is we're more closely replicating, mimicking nature. Because what happened to this property is that man put fence around the perimeter, and man didn't put any type of livestock on this property. And livestock they maintain the prairies. Think about the buffalo in historic America. They maintained the prairies by grazing and fertilizing and carving trails. Some of the first roads in America were actually buffalo trails. And so what we're doing is we are more closely replicating nature. We rented a forestry mulcher to clear out as much of our property as we could in a week. And so we are changing it. We are switching it from this to, and we are turning it into something more like this. Okay, we're clearing out areas of pasture. Some of this was already cleared out, but take a look at what this forestry mulcher has done. This was thick. This is really thick with trees, and we've mulched up the trees, and we're putting this carbon back into the soil. Beautiful. A lot of times people just clear their land with a bulldozer, something of that nature, and then they make these brush piles and they burn it. Some minerals, some nutrients get back into the soil from those brush piles, but nothing like what we're doing here. We're creating a garden bed for our grasses and our clover that our poultry and our beef eat. But people spend a lot of money on shade mobiles. Google shade mobile, you'll find a lot of expensive shade for cattle. Well, our trees are going to do that for us naturally, and I'm trying to do it in a way to where the places that I'm opening up are going to get sunlight, and we're going to have the silvo pasture, and it's going to work in harmony. We get shade for the cows, we're growing timber, we're growing grass. We rented a forestry mulcher. It's a skid steer with a forestry mulcher attachment, and I'll show you that in operation. All right, so this is the skid steer with the forestry mulcher attachment. Shooting video right in the sun. And you can see around me, this area used to be, the sun shining in the camera is a testament to how thick this area was. I mean, the sun is shining in my eyes right now. This was dense, super dense. I mean, it was a little scary how dense it was. It's not something I like to walk through. I had to come down here and repair a fence before I cleared this out, and it was not fun. This thing has done an amazing job. This is a Cat 2993XE. Whatever that means. It's 110 horsepower, and man, it flies through underbrush and growth up to like 3 inches, maybe 4 inches, and depending on the tree. As soon as you get up, thicker than that, it takes some time to work on it. And there's some different methods that I've found to take down those larger trees. Having said that, if I was to rent this again, trying to clear out 30 acres, well, basically 20 acres, I would have gone with a big boy. There's one, it was more expensive, but it was like 170 horsepower or something like that. And it had a much bigger cutting head. Check out the cutting head on this thing. You can see, I mean, again, this was all thick forest. Now it's silvo pasture. Here's the cutting head on this thing. So it's got these teeth that just chop through things. There's one area down on the end of my property. It's a creek area, and it gets a lot of sunlight because it's up against the road. So the sun shines in this area, and it was super green and thick. And I was going through it, and I was surprised I didn't see a velociraptor. Like, if there was dinosaurs or Bigfoot, it would have been down there. So anyways, pretty excited about this. But what we're doing is we're clearing out more pasture for the best beef and the best poultry, and soon the best pork in the world. Go to our website, tasteandseetyler.com, and you can pre-order our next batch of broilers, of poultry, whole chickens delivered to you if you're in the Tyler area, or you can come to the farm and pick them up, get some of the farm experience. We'll take you on a tour, and then we'll have beef available next year, and we're working on our next on eggs and pigs. So thanks for watching, and I'll keep you updated on this silvo pasture. It was creepy. I'm not necessarily afraid of snakes, but I think about it a lot. So that's abandoned property. In fact, the whole haunted, like, if I've ever seen a haunted house, it's that one. And not that I've seen anything haunted, just I've got a theory. I'll talk about it some other time. Basically, it looks like somebody died in the middle of moving out. Not that there's a body or anything, but there's like an abandoned U-Haul truck and a wheelchair on the porch and a bunch of boxes, and it all has to be at least 15 years old. Anyway.